Right, hi folks, how are we doing today? And today's video, as you've probably guessed from the title, is about snow, but not snow in the winter. And on this trip, it was, the week before, I'd actually been walking in really warm conditions, believe it or not. It'd been a lovely Indian summer across Scotland, and I'd been out in the Highlands and temperatures in the 20s, and it's just been glorious. The early morning inversions above the clouds, fog banks, and roasting hot days out in the mountains. But as inevitably happens, especially in Scotland, the weather can change, and especially I always think between kind of spring and round about spring and autumn, you do see the most sort of extreme changes in weather. You know, one day it can be nice and warm, and the next day you can have snow, and that's certainly what happened here. The following week, the weather had changed, and I'd seen that there was going to be snow on the tops. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. You can get snow. Well, I've probably encountered snow in Scotland's mountains in every month of the year, even in the summer, and even low down. And how do we look into it? Even down in lower levels in, I think it was in England, there was a cricket match that was once cancelled in June because an inch of snow fell. So it just shows you snow can happen at any time of the year, and that's certainly the case in the mountains. You're a bit higher up and a bit further north in Scotland, so you can certainly get snow at any time of the year. So anyway, this trip, I saw the forecast was, there was going to be some of the white stuff coming out of the sky, so I headed north from my hometown and headed for some of Scotland's highest mountains, hoping that I'd get my feet in the snow for the first time that year. So let's cut to me in a rather wet and damp car park at the start of the walk. Right, hello folks, and today I am on the search for some of the white stuff. I'm quite excited. It'll be the first first snow of the season if I do find it. But I don't know if you can hear it. It's rather wet at the moment, but I'm really hoping the forecast is at the very tops of the hills. Might be getting some snow, so I'm on the hunt for snow today. So fingers crossed that I can find some. I'm going high today. I think it's the 7th highest mountain in the UK, so I'm going up high, and let's see if we can find some of it. But yeah, I need to get wrapped up warm. I've got my salopettes with me and my hats and gloves. First time they've been used since last winter. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be wet to start off with. But yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see if we can find some of that lovely whiteness. Right, let's get ready. So I got my waterproofs on and headed on up the hill, and at this point I couldn't see the tops of the hills, so I had no idea of whether I was going to encounter any of the white stuff or not. I just had to keep going uphill and hope for the best. Hi guys, what a lovely, well engineered path this is. In fact, there's folk working on it a bit further down the hill. That's a hard job. Anyway, just a progress update. I'm probably about half an hour away from the car, and although the clag's in, I can't really see anything, and there's no sign of any of the white stuff on the ground yet. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out on the camera. The drizzly rain is now turning to sleet, and the higher I get, the more and more flakes of snow are coming down. So I'm feeling hopeful that we're going to find the snow line. I've still got quite a few hundred metres to go, so I'm going to get cracked on a bit further, and I'll report back and see if we find ourselves in whiter surroundings. Right, let's get a bit higher up this mountain. As I mentioned, the path up the hill was fantastic, really well maintained, and it took me quite easily up the hill, gaining height. And as I gained height, I started to notice more and more of that rain turning to snow, and before long there was bigger flakes falling from the sky, and it was starting to lie on the ground. I was getting quite excited now. This is fabulous. I'm hoping you can make out the whiteness round about me. And I've reached the snow line. And it's snowing now. It's actually snowing. It's not sleet or anything like that. Absolutely brilliant. It's hard to believe, literally. Last weekend I was toiling in the heat of 20 degrees heading up the mountains. That's Scotland for you. So what time of year we're at? We're still in September, so this is the first. It's not unusual. You can get snow at any time in Scotland. But this is my first snowfall. There has been some other sort of lighter snowfalls, but I'm going to head on a bit further. I'm at about 1,000 metres now, and I've still got about 250, 300 metres to get to the top. So hopefully the snow will get a wee bit thicker as I gain some height. Let's go. As I passed the high ski restaurant, the snow was indeed getting a bit thicker under my feet, and it was looking more like a proper winter's day now. Nice and snowy. Now here I come, and this is a pretty popular mountain, and it's well signposted. We've got a whole series of cairns like this one here. I don't know if you can see that marking the route up. And this snow is it's lovely now. It must be 3 or 4 centimetres deep, which is just making everything fantastic. Really nice. I'm having a great time. Can't wipe this smile off my face. So at the moment I'm about 1,200 metres. So there's about another 50 metres vertically to the summit. I'll be there soon. There's a big huge weather station at the top of this one, so I shouldn't have any trouble finding it. And as I said before, I think it's in the top 10. It's either the 6th or 7th highest mountain in the UK, but I'll let you into a little secret. The car park sits at about 700 metres, so it's not too difficult a climb. It's a lovely route, but it shouldn't be underestimated. I've got a snowy day today, but there's very little wind, so it's fine. But these mountains up here, the Cairngorms, can be deadly. And if you know your hill walking, you'll know all about that. I'm not gonna preach to you. Anyway, let's crack on to the summit and yeah, enjoy this snowy goodness. Lovely. Ooh. After a wee bit more plodding through the snow, the summit cairn was soon visible, and I headed up and soon passed it, and I was headed for the weather station, which sits on the top of this nice big rounded hill. Oh, right, that's me at the top of Cairngorm, the mountain that gives the mountain range its name. And unfortunately there's no views, but I have found the snow, which is just great. There's a slight breeze up here, and I've come over from the large cairn just over to the weather station here because there's a wee bit more signal. Oh, not signal, a wee bit more shelter. I'm just saying there's a big electrical, the weather station's making some noises behind me, that's what made me say signal. Anyway, speaking nonsense now. Yeah, so on the top, I found the snow, super happy. It's really nice to just get into this stuff. This time of year, the snow's pretty transient, so this will probably be gone in the next few days, but it's just the start of winter coming. Just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, quick bite to eat here, then I'm just going to head back down the way I came, back to the car, and yeah, back down the road. Lovely. Right, food. So I spent a wee bit of time here at the weather station, out of that wind, and it was certainly, it wasn't warm, so the old beanie went on, and yeah, I had a wee bite to eat before heading off the summit and heading back down the hill. So it just goes to show you can get snow at any time of the year in Scotland, especially on these high mountains, and it's sometimes really nice just to get out there early in the season and experience the first snowfall. As it turns out, the following winter after this was one of the snowiest we'd had on years. It was just a shame we couldn't get out to enjoy it due to the pandemic. Hope you enjoyed the video, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure.